What's going on, guys? I'm Jada Black. I want to talk about actor Jason Sudeikis. He plays on the Ted Lasso show, right? Popular show. Well, he had to serve his ex-wife with custody papers because he wants custody of his children because I believe she's probably either trying to keep those kids from him or she wants to maintain primary custody. And he's like, no, no. And I got to understand, this stuff goes on a lot, but you don't see it play out like it has. Like this, like she was on stage at CinemaCon and then she gets served with the papers. So let's get into this. I got two articles here, but let me read the one from Yahoo. All right. It says exclusive, like something out of a hackneyed Hollywood plot. The mysterious envelope picked up by Don't Worry, Darling director and star Olivia Wilde during her CinemaCon presentation last night for the New Line movie were legal documents from Ted Lasso star Jason Sudeikis. It's our understanding that the manila envelope marked personal and confidential, which was placed on stage, were custody papers from the Primetime Emmy winner. Separated since late 2020, Wilde and Sudeikis shared two children together. Though engaged, the couple never formally tied the knot. Deadline has reached out to reps for both Wilde and Sudeikis and will update if we receive statements. While reps are quiet, what happened on Tuesday was very loud display, at least figuratively. Last night during the Warner Brothers CinemaCon session at Caesars Palace Coliseum, Wilde was briefly interrupted when an unidentified person approached from the front rows and slid a manila envelope across the stage towards her. "This is for me?" Wilde asked. She retrieved the envelope and opened it. However, like a pro, Wilde was not rattled by what must have been a shocker. With her personal life put suddenly on public display, the filmmaker continued addressing the audience of largely exhibitors about her project. After the trailer for Don't Worry, Darling played, it was met with great applause. Initially, Deadline had heard last night that the contents of the envelope were an unsolicited script, but we now know that it's not the case. In recent memory, it's hard to think of an impromptu moment at CinemaCon involving an intrusion by an audience member with a star on stage. And this certainly raises security questions. It also is an acerbic move to sabotage a star with legal papers during their shining moment on stage before 4,100 in the film industry. When one is served papers, that is something that is orchestrated by the person who's actually serving legal documents. In order to get into the Coliseum for CinemaCon, non-industry attendees need a personal badge. Certainly, what occurred last night in Sin City raises serious questions about vetting of attendees at CinemaCon. When Deadline spoke to those involved in running the show at the Coliseum, they were unaware how the person got into the building or who they were. In fact, CinemaCon producers just kept the Warner presentation going. Note CinemaCon is heavily staffed with security who typically check bags extensively for recording and dangerous devices, as well as shepherd the crowd in and out of the event after each studio presentation. CinemaCon provided no comment when reached by Deadline. Wilde's Don't Worry, Darling comes out on September 23rd. 18 studios bid on the thriller, which New Line won, financing the pick in the $20 million range. Florence Pugh plays Alice, a 1950s housewife whose husband, Jack Harry Styles, is employed by enigmatic operation known as the Victory Project. The organization is expected to change the world as we know it. The women in town are told to stay indoors, but Alice has her suspicions as she begins to observe violent acts. The trailer is provocative and filled with steamy scenes between Pugh and Styles. What would you expect from a female-produced film? I think this is hilarious, but he would say, well, we had security concerns. The person had an envelope. Obviously, Jason Sudeikis' team or whomever provided the paperwork was able to get this person in. Okay? They were able to get that person in. I believe she's been dodging him. I believe she's probably in the UK with Harry Styles, and he couldn't get a hold of her. And she came back to the States, and now he was able to track her down and give her that paperwork. This is the only reason why this would happen. The only reason why this would happen is because he's been trying to get a hold of her and she's been MIA. So he says, okay, well, she's going to be at CinemaCon. Okay, well, I'm going to make sure she gets this paperwork. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, she's going to be at CinemaCon. I'm going to have her served while she's at CinemaCon. And if it's embarrassing, it is what it is. She's been dodging me for the longest. I'm tired of it. I want to get a solution to this. She don't want to have a solution to this. She wants to fight me on this. I want custody of my children. I don't know what his custody agreement, whether he has half of custody, if he has little to no custody. If she has primary custody, she's taking the kids with her when she goes out of the country or whatnot. It's obvious that something is going on to where he has to do this. He has to do this because she's making it very difficult for him to be a parent. Or otherwise, he wouldn't have to go this far. You see, women think because they are mothers that that the kids belong to them. That's not true. The kids do not belong to you. The kids have two parents. You're not the only parent. You're one of the parents, but you're not the only parent. And these women have children and they want to make it, and they believe that the children belong to them, but they don't. The children belong to both parents. And he felt like he had to serve her there because I don't think he could get a hold of her. And when he found out that she was going to be at CinemaCon, he said, well, that'll be the best place to serve her. Now, did he do this to embarrass her? Maybe he did, but we didn't find out till a day later. So we don't exactly know what's going on behind the scenes, but obviously, if he felt like he had to do this, it is because this woman has been dodging him. And he felt like he had no choice but to go and do this. They had a family together. They never married, but he feels like this is the right route to go to get her attention because she's been dodging him. But we'll see what happens, man. There are people that want to paint him as the bad guy, but we don't know what she's like behind the scenes. She could be totally against him being a dad to his children. So he has to serve her with custody papers. Maybe he feels like she's not even a good mother. He might have the kids more than she does. We don't know which direction, but what we do know is that he wants more time with his children, and he feels like she's being totally unfair to him to the point to where he has to go and do this. So let me know in the comment section below. Let me know your thoughts. Like this video and share it. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll see you all the next one.